Hello everyone, welcome to Global Soccer Conclave and the most exciting session for today, that is the Sports Tech Match Day. So we have with us our finalists of Sports Tech startups who have already pitched their decks, and we'll be having a presentation followed by question answer to them by our jury panel, and thereby we'll be proceeding with the session. Let me introduce you to the jury panel. So first we have with us is Iris Cordoba Mondejar. She has been an instrumental in promotion of entrepreneurship and innovation from public and private partnership, both in Latin America and Spain, with main emphasis on cultural industries, Spanish economy, sports, and entertainment industry. She is since the beginning of 2015, when Global Sports Innovation Center, powered by Microsoft, we commonly call as GSIC, was established. She is being there, and as a unique collaborative initiative between the public and private academic sectors, whose aim is to promote innovation and digital transformation in sports industry. The GSIC has become an international reference and is currently in the phase of international expansion, and that is why Iris has moved as a lead to, in the Singapore office of GSIC for the further expansion projects. Welcome, Iris. Welcome to the Global Soccer Conclave once again.
Hello. Very happy to be here. Thank you.
So we have with us our next jury, Siddharth Deshmukh, he's popularly known as Sid, and he's a seasoned industry leader with 20 years of experience, out of which last 9 years he's working as in sports industry, handling sports commerce, sports development, sports education, and sports technology. He's a founding member of MBA Sports Management course at Symbiosis International School of Sports Sciences and is an ex-CEO of Khel Now. He also hosts a popular show that is Let's Talk with Sports with Sid Deshmukh on his YouTube channel, where he interviews athletes, business owners, coaches, and organizations, administrators from Indian and global perspective. This channel gives a great insight into sporting landscape and making career into the sports. He's an industry mentor at Qatar Sports Tech, South Asia head of Genius Sports, and most interestingly, he's managing as a brand manager to MS Dhoni, the popular Indian cricketer. Welcome, Sid. Welcome to the Global Soccer Conclave.
Thanks, and great to be here. Looking forward to this finale.
Great. So next jury panel, we have Inigo Bonilla Barros. He's a strategic alliance and business development director at Microsoft GSIC, powered by Microsoft. He's also a member of Digital Technology and Innovation Commission at Global Esports Federation. In past, he was the CRM manager at La Liga, and we are pleased to have him here as our esteemed jury. Welcome, Inigo. Welcome to the Global Soccer Conclave.
Pleasure to be here with this outstanding panel and looking forward to learn more about these startups. Thank you very much.
Great. And lastly, we have the jury, Dr. Das. He's a sports medicine and sports science expert from India. Welcome, Dr. Das, to the Global Soccer Conclave.
Thank you, Dr. Amul. I'll just take here onward once Dr. Amul has introduced the jury panel. Before we start the kickoff activity for today's match day, I will just give an outline how exactly the kickoff has these many days has shaped up. We were part of the initial screening committee from the performance and sports science side. I was there, and for the management and other sides, GSIC experts were there. Total 75 participation was there across the globe for this specific match day. However, because it is specifically for football, 56 ultimately qualified out of that, because they were mainly oriented towards football. Once we evaluated with various parameters, especially the Asian and African continent in perspective, 7 ultimately became ultimately as the finalist. I just show you the screen. I hope it is visible.
Screen share is enabled.
I hope it is visible.
Yes. No, it's not visible now. Can you please reshare it?
Just a second.
Yeah.
Is it now?
Now it's, I think it's showing up. Just a minute. Yeah, it's clear now.
Okay. So just for all other juries for today, the total 7 finalists are as mentioned here. One was Laife, They are a Berlin-based startup focused on the mental health issue, relief, and performance enhancement through highly personalized artificial intelligence music generation based on data points from athletes. They are basically using artificial intelligence. However, although they are finalists, they can only just share their deck today because of time zone issue, and one of their main CEO has had some medical issues today. Then we have ATM. ATM is an athlete management environment that helps sports organizations, high performance centers, and academies to manage their athlete holistically, along with tracking and monitoring their training program. This is the athletic management system. Third one was Juego. Juego offers end-to-end solution in native and cross-platform with specialization in AR, VR, and IoT solutions for tracking and viewing football player performance for the talent scouting purpose. Juego has also shared their deck. They could not be physically present there today because of the time issues. They are basically using mobile application. Then we have B-Box. They are official sports goods connected with a world of augmented reality, offering sports teams real data about real fans. We will also get the speech deck for them and the presentation because they could not join physically. Then there is fan engagement platform FanX, which is from Tech Mahindra. They will join, but Mr. Upadhyay most probably will be joining slightly late because of some other business issues, but they will be surely joining. Then we have NSA Tech. NSA Tech is a technology platform that is completely based on AI and used for tracking and analyzing techniques, movement, and the action of best player performance. The representative of NSA Tech are there with us today already. They are using artificial intelligence in multi-platform format. Then last one was AI Abacus. AI Abacus creates a large-scale, fully customized deep and machine learning system on machine learning platform infrastructure. It has support for all aspects of ML lifestyle, including data pipeline, data wrangling on live feature store, model training, hosting, and monitoring drift. I think out of the total 7, 3 are physically present. Rest all has shared their pitch deck along with their videos, most probably Dr. Amol, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, they have shared their videos with us, and so we'll be playing in them. Some last moment issues couldn't be avoided. Thank you, Dr. Das, for a wonderful sum up for our juries and for our attendees, and also highlighting the scoring system that we'll be adopting today. Thank you for showing this thing.
Each panelist or the presenter can get 10 minutes time, and after that, as a jury panel, we are open for any questions, whatever they are in our mind, to assess their scalability or performance to them. Is it clear, Sid, Iris, and Inigo?
Yeah, we are good to start.
Fine. Then, Dr. Amol, I think ATM is physically present
Yes,
here. So we can call them
we are
first.
starting with ATM so that we take up the time management, and since they have joined first, I think we can take them up. Dr. Das, can you please stop the screen share so that I'll allow ATM to be on board? So I invite the team ATM to come up and present their pitch. I think we have Murugesh and Sanjeet with us. Hello, Murugesh. Hello, Sanjeet. Welcome to GSC.
Yeah, good evening, everybody.
Hey guys.
Yes.
Please, you can proceed to presentation.
All right.
Okay.
So, yeah. So thank you for this
Go
opportunity.
ahead.
Yeah. So thank you for this opportunity. First of all, I mean, say the jury members as well. In fact, I mean, the Global Soccer Conclave has been a beautiful initiative which has happened during, I mean, say the crisis which the entire world faces. And I mean, so we being part of the sports industry, we derive a lot of inspiration from the event altogether. So having said that, I would want to introduce myself. I'm Murugesh. So today with me, I have my colleague Sangeet. We are the founding team members of ATM Sports. We focus towards enabling high performance solutions to athletes and the sports teams. So I will ask, Sangeet to give the presentation, and from there on, if there are any questions, we'll jointly answer the questions of yours. Over to you, Sangeet.
Hey, thanks, Murugesh. Murugesh, can you confirm if you can see my screen?
Yeah, your screen is visible, Sangeet. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, everybody, for taking the time and inviting us, and to be part of the GSC event. And we're really, really thrilled to be part of Match Day. Super excited to be here. My name is Sangeet. I'm a co-founder at Sherman Healthcare, and that's the company Murugesh and I represent. We're here to talk to you about our product ATM and why we think it's going to revolutionize the way athletes, especially in India and a lot of other countries around this region, are going to change it. So let's look at Tokyo 2020 itself, right? And this particular slide covers only the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Even if you look at the Paralympics that just concluded, it's an easy guess and it's an easy thing to say that what we just witnessed is India's best performance in the Olympics ever, right? And there's probably some reason for it, right? Why is it that our athletes today have performed so much better than the other athletes all throughout? There's a whole bunch of reasons. There's been training, there's a whole bunch of things. But one of the things that we are seeing experts across the board talk about is the importance of sports science. And this is not just one or two experts, right? This is beginning with the athlete, right? We've got athletes openly coming out and saying that they understand why and how sports science have been able to help them train better. We've got the coaches talking about the benefits of using sports science to augment it into their holistic training program. And we even have politicians, right? This is Mr. Sudhanshu Mittal, who is the chief of the IOA, who he himself has told that finally we understand that by bringing in sports science to the entire athlete training cycle, the results that one can see are absolutely phenomenal. So finally, after so many years, we now have acceptance and acknowledgement of the power, of the truly transformative power that sports science can bring to athletes. But it doesn't end there, right? Everybody understands it's great, but there's a reason why only some of the elite nations, some of the elite communities in the world have been able to successfully adopt sports science in their training programs. And if you look at the entire framework or the entire context or topic, right? The way you look at training, your data is currently in silos, right? From the way the data is captured to the way the data is stored and managed. Implementing sports science very efficiently is expensive and it's very intensive. It's an iterative process that needs to happen in a certain procedure and a certain workflow. In order to design this workflow and process, you need to have a certain level of technical expertise, which is why you see a lot of nations investing in coaches from abroad, in teams from abroad, because they've been able to understand and develop a community of experts in this particular domain. Then, of course, the fact that we all understand athlete training is not a one-man thing, right? It's got multiple stakeholders involved, from coaches, from doctors, right down to the families of the athletes who are so deeply involved into the process. So what happens here is that most of the sports organizations just struggle to get started about as far as implementing sports science in their curriculum or in their workflow is concerned. Now, if you are not one of those elite sports organizations, this entire objective itself is intimidating and to begin with. And that's where our product ATM comes into picture, right? We are a performance intelligence platform that's evidence-based, easy to use, and data-driven. With our mobile app and our web app, what we do is we make it easy for coaches, athletes, teams, and various other stakeholders, including doctors, to be able to implement and integrate sports science research into their platform. Now, once you integrate this, it means that you are going to be following evidence-based practices, evidence-based tests, and also evidence-based performance records. The other part is that this is not just a big data collection exercise, right? What we all realize is that none of the athletes anywhere are excited about just giving their data. So what we've also done is the athlete app that you see on your screen is a very easy to use app. that is extremely intuitive, which athletes love to use to enter the data. Within the app itself, they are able to understand, if I were to follow this process, if I were to enter this data, how does it actually impact my training, and what is the holistic view that I as an athlete get from it. The same information is then contextualized based on if you are a coach, if you are a doctor, if you are a sports scientist as well. Now, one of the three things that why we would say why this really works out is that most organizations, when they think about sports science, the first point that comes to their head is, I need to buy some expensive hardware. Now, that could be an expensive, large infrastructure and equipment, or it could be a fancy wearable. But what we understand is that majority of the organizations are going to be struggling with terms of cash crunches. And that's one of the reasons why we believe that sports science is largely information and knowledge. So you don't need expensive hardware to get started. You can just get started by just using your Android or your iPhone, or your Android smartphone or your iPhone. The second thing is the platform has got guided workflows, which means you don't necessarily need to have the world's best sports scientists supporting you to start just following some of your practices, right? What we have in the platform is we've got evidence-based practices, we've got journals, we've got recommendations from the sports expertise in the sports science community around the world. And we've got very clear workflow so that if you are somebody who is new to technology, it's very easy for you to navigate, for you to build your entire training schedule, for you to prescribe your exercise, your training workouts and plans as well. And a key important differentiator, especially in a region like India, is that our platform is multilingual, which means you need not know only the English language. This platform is available in a whole variety of languages, including Hindi and Kannada and a lot of other global languages as well. So quick look at our startup. What's the last 18 months been? We've done some really good stuff. We've engaging very closely as part of our early access program with very key government institutes, with high performance centers in the country as well. We've got about 9 customers and which roughly translates to about 300 plus active users on the platform. Now there's a whole bunch of customer organizations that are eager, and they've been asking us to open up the platform for them as well. But currently we are, very selective in the kind of customers we'd like to onboard as part of the program. What we've also done recently is we've recently launched our product, on the 21st of August, just a couple of weeks ago, and we've also inked some very strategic partnerships with organizations that are the expertise when it comes to research and when it comes to sports as well. If you look at our business model, largely what you see on top is the customer profile, right? Centers of excellence, high performance centers, sports academies. So we are a B2B platform completely driven on SaaS. And what the licensing is based on per user. Now, this user could be an athlete, could be a coach, could be a doctor, or could be a manager as well. Based on the kind of estimates and the research we've done, what we believe is that the immediate target potential here in India itself alone, only if you were to look at high performance centers and government federations, we're talking roughly about 24 million, and that's annual recurring revenue, right? So this is what we believe the market size is specifically in India. How do we plan to sort of approach this market? Well, we've sort of identified a solution place. We understand that there are some of those organizations which are already managing their athletes in a bit more sophisticated manner. That could be in the form of Excel sheets, which are situated across multiple different systems. That could be across some hardware integrations. So for them, we have identified a specific solution play. And for those, the larger chunk of our customers who are really just either not managing their data or really using pen and paper and struggling through all of that, those are the 2 solution plays that we've identified to go to market with. So in the previous slide, we talked about the opportunity in India, but if you look at the opportunity globally, it's a tremendous growth, right? We believe that the market category, that is of athlete training and performance in India alone, is about $1 billion. And we've had some initial traction from customers in India and also in France. Now, we believe that we are one of the early movers in India, and that's one of the reasons why we're seeing a lot of established organizations reaching out to us and asking us if they can try out the platform today. What we also believe is that after Tokyo 2020, we believe that this is a segment and this is a sector that's going to see a lot of investment and there's a lot of interest as well. So are we the only ones here? Well, maybe we are early movers in India, but like I mentioned again, sports science and implementing them into your athlete training program is not a brand new concept. People and organizations have been doing it for a whole bunch of time, for a couple of years now. However, the entry barrier for organizations that do not have the technical expertise or the resources is so high that most of them never get better, which is why what we try to do as ATM is to democratize the space and make sure that sports science access is enabled for everybody, irrelevant of if the athlete, from where the athlete is, who the athlete knows, and how much the athlete can pay. Now, our vision really, like I mentioned in my previous slide, is to democratize the access of sports science research to athletes. And for that, ATM is not going to be just a single point tool. What we are looking at building, our platform vision is what you see on your screen, right? It's a holistic platform that talks about bringing the sports science library, medical nutrition modules, the physiology modules, and all of that into an easy to use technology platform. This is a quick snapshot of the founding team. Murugesh is our CEO. Neelkant on the right is our CTO, and he's been building the tech. Kevin, Dr. Kevin is our head of product and sports science research. And myself, I look after strategy and sales. One of the things that you'd see on this slide is that each of us come from a background that's extremely relevant to the work and to the duties we are performing in this company, right? We've spent 7 to 10, 12 years doing exactly that. I come from a strong background of doing enterprise B2B SaaS sales, and we are fairly confident that we'd be able to take ATM to success. Towards the end of this presentation here, what we have here is a quick roadmap of what the next 18 to 24 months looks like. If you guys are interested, we began a journey sometime around early 2020, and that's when COVID-19 happened. But over the next 3 years, we have a very clear go-to-market in terms of the product modules we would like to bring into play, right? We are talking about bringing in some very good innovations like a smartphone as a lab, which means that how can you use your phone using the ATM app? Can that double up to a certain extent, at least, as a quick sports science repository or sports science lab itself? We are also working at building out an ATM AI assistant, and hopefully, if you're able to meet our milestones, which we are confident of, we believe we would be uniquely positioned to enter the B2C market, which by then we would have built enough credibility with athletes, and not just any athlete, with elite athletes. With that, I've come to the end of the presentation. Happy to take any questions if you guys have any.
Dr. Amol, will you allow ATM to take question now, so that I have 2 queries in my mind?
Yes, doctor. Yes, Dr.
Okay.
Das, please.
Okay.
Can you just pick up the presentation, Murugesh?
You want to stop the presentation, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Sid, Inigo, and
yeah, I have one question for you.
Yes.
Are you currently working with some sport organizations or high performance centers apart from GSW? I mean, you are looking for a global scope, or are you currently working just in the Asian Pacific market?
So what interesting, it's a very good question, because we have got a lot of interest. In fact, we've got a customer out there in France as well. Because it's a SaaS platform, there's a lot of interest from some of the organizations in the European markets who would like to try out the product. We've got some of our early adopters in France as well. So that is a service and a market that we are sort of servicing right now. It helps that our co-founder is from France and is based out of Europe as well. But proactively, in terms of building out a sales go-to-market model, our focus has largely been in India.
Okay, perfect. As a recommendation, I think in the next few years you should focus on scaling the project far from India, okay, in the Southeast Asian market, and then in Europe as well.
Absolutely. In fact, I'm not sure if this was evident on the roadmap slide, but what we believe is if we are able to build critical mass, then by in time for Paris 2024, I think that would be a good position for us to sort of start looking at, international exposure into international markets as well. But thank you for the recommendation. Definitely noted.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have a question, or you are thinking to use this data or this platform also to give more information for the sport entities to create new revenue share about the fund, you know, maybe some of the information that you get in this platform, maybe in the future you can create other services to create more engagement or give more information for the club. You are working in this way, you are thinking about this, because maybe it's other way to explore opportunity, you know.
Iris, I think that's a great suggestion. I'll tell you what we've been doing, right? We've been working with, of course, we've been working with government organizations, but with some of the private high performance centers that we've been speaking with, they've actually come back to us and told the reason they want to use our platform is because they've got all these, you know, athletes coming in and, you know, working with them, training with them. But many of the athletes complain that I don't know what's happening to my data. You know, I come in here every day. I don't know what I'm doing with this data. So an interesting opportunity that seems to be opening up is from the private high performance centers, where they're working with us and the private professional coaches, where what they're telling us is they want to use the platform to be able to go back to the athlete and tell them, hey, this is the insight and this is the output of your training. Now, what they are telling us is that when they are able to use the dashboards and the data, which is fairly easy to understand, the athletes are able to then sort of reinvest and say, okay, now I would like to, you know, continue for another 6 months or for another year and things like that. So that's an interesting opportunity and question that started. But that's a conversation we are having today.
Okay, and the last question, sorry.
Yes.
Which cloud are you using for develop this dashboard? What technology or what other software or platform are you using today?
So currently the entire platform is built on serverless computing. We are currently running this out of an AWS EC2 instance. That's what we've sort of, right from our MVP bootstrap stage itself. And we plan to do this at least till a point where we have to reach certain volumes and a critical mass. But for now, currently the platform is hosted out of an AWS EC2 instance, currently based out of India. And we are looking, and one of the things is, because data and privacy is extremely important, the platform has been architected in such a way where the database of the athletes can be stored locally within a server that is on premises. So we can then do an integration if required. So the entire platform is GDPR compliant today, thereby enabling us to scale out further again.
Okay.
Fine. I think Sheed has a query. Before
Yeah.
Sheed fires that question, I'll just request Team ATM, the answer should be just very, very crisp and short because of the time zone. Please,
Sure.
Sheed.
Okay. So I think there are two Murugesh, but Sangeet is answering, right? Most of the questions. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Guys, I saw the platform. I think it's pretty good and good work on the thinking process. My only question is, you are doing everything where a lot of players are doing bits and pieces. There are the multiple players already playing multiple roles in multiple places. So what is the strategy for you for go-to-market when actually it takes, because there's Catapult established a certain place. There is PowerUp established a certain place. There is a company like SnoozeFit for health monitoring, or there are variables they're set. So everybody set at a certain place. So are you going to have an API integration open and keep it open for any kind of people to be integrated with you, or you want to have the whole pie yourself?
Yes, Sid, I'll take the first shot at this question and then I'll leave it to Sangeet to elaborate over that. So ideally, our core focus at this time is towards performance and coaching. All right. And this is where the core, the problem itself exists, towards training the athlete as to say how to improvise their performance, which will enable and which will be simpler. So that is our core focus. And like you said, yes, there are other hardware solutions which are enabling certain areas of improvement. And like you said, we are open, to bring in the data, and our platform will enable the user to see complete data over one single dashboard. And we are already in the process of that discussions currently. So our focus is towards performance and coaching at this stage. But however, it doesn't restrict us to think beyond that. Over to you, Sangeet.
Yeah, the only thing I want to add, Sid, is that one of the whole challenges has been is that some of the data is in silos, right? So we're doing two things. One, we believe that we can build out an integrated sports ecosystem, right? Which means that, of course, there is something through API integrations as well. So one of the things we are planning for 2023 is or 2022 is called the ATM Marketplace. Now, the ATM Marketplace is a bunch of couple of things, but at an oversimplified version, it becomes your marketplace for hardware integration, software integrations, and additionally, it also becomes your community hub, which means tomorrow, if I am an organization that's specifically focused on a specific sport, I would be able to download specific templates and also work with my community members to understand how some of these information can be implemented well. So the marketplace is something we are building towards, and we believe there is a space for a consolidation of this, wherein the data and the information can be aggregated, and then the sense can be made out of it.
Let's say I got my answer in the second part very quickly. But yes, no, the first part was important, but the second part was immediate, I think, business case. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Amol, I think we got adequate thrash upon the ATM platform. We can go for the NSTech. Yes.
Which one you would like to have the next?
I think NSTech, because they are physically there before the.
Sure.
I think let suggestion. Let's finish off the people who are already there. So because I think we need to respect their time who has joined.
Yes, absolutely.
Physically.
Yes, that's why NSTech is there, so they can start there. Okay.
So I request the NSTech people, Mr. Hossain and Mr. Masia. Thank you. With one request that please follow the 10-minute timeline so that we can have justice to the questions from juries.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Hussein, you are audible.
Hello, everyone. I'm Hossein from GSC Tech. Please let me to turn off my camera for having internet better. Can I start?
Please.
Sure. Yes, you can start, Hussein.
Okay. First of all, thank you from Global Soccer Conclave events for inviting. GSC Tech, it's a sport interactive AI multi-platform that's selected as a top sport technology in the world, Qatar 2021, beside the FIFA World Cup. And I'm CEO and founder of GSC Tech, and I invited you to watch the 2 minutes introduction video.
NSA Tech of Knowledge.
Okay, about the GSC Tech experience, I should say that we participate in Global Sport Innovation Center hosted by Singapore and powered by Microsoft. And after that, went to Brazil and participate World Football Summit powered by La Liga, and went to England for Snyder Sport and Entertainment event have gone through the Qatar Sport Tech Core 3 top 50 startups. And after that, went to Core 4, Qatar Sport Tech startups selected as the top 10 sports and health technologies in the world among 400 technologies from 70 countries, hosted by Qatar Sport Tech for the 2022 FIFA World Cup event. And I am very excited to talking about the select as one of the eligible and selected technology of the Microsoft in 2021 Microsoft for Startups program. And about our team, we have a really powerful team with extensive expertise across all areas of business and sports. And from myself, I am CEO and founder of NSA Tech, PhD in exercise physiology, best patent in Iran and Emirates. Select as the top 12 ideas, vital sign belts, smart backpack for mountain climbing by user application, analyzing in international festival commercialization and advanced technologies in Dubai. And have a 4 registered patent in sport and health by WPO, an honorary doctorate from Mikimoto University of Japan in innovation and management, and select for the best idea for Asian Nobel Festival Cannes among 1,200 people from 50 countries, Islamic work, and work with Asian Games and International World Cup triathletes national player for bronze medal in the tennis and karate players. An exercise therapist specialist and certified personal trainer of International Sports Science Association from the USA. And I just say that I have many experience to work with the kids, with the amateur and professional player. And I see something and I find some gaps in the sports and teaching and learning sport and performance and that haven't seen before. About the problems, for coach, it's not possible for coach to track all movement of the player from different views quickly and accurately during the training and match. And for academies are always looking for players and coach performance using simple and easy to use data and track the effect of each coach on player to teach the right position. And for player, according to research, players, especially kids, need visual information that can help to provide the right posture and structure, improve understanding, avoid frustration, and offer opportunities to interact with learning and see easily and errors in skills. NSA Tech has solved these problems by artificial intelligence technologies. Coach can track the player performance to find the strengths and weakness, frame by frame movement. And we made it possible for the first time for users to compare the progress and performance themselves or top level player as a reference. And we provide a special space for clubs and academies to have a database and library in visual, interactive 3D, 360 degrees view and numerical format, graph and schedule. And I will show you how it works. And have access to network of great coaches to interpret data for them, especially for user, and give improvement drills for individuals that have no access to coach. And how it works. This is the realistic and interactive top-level player, and this is our platform. You can log into NSA Tech Interactive Artificial Intelligence Multi-Platform, select your favorite sport, capture or upload a video of the player, have access to accumulated data, and zoom in and zoom out through the 3D, and you can you can turn, zoom in, zoom out, and this capture can be selected from the live events, all the events, or training during the training, and you can see this new view from your player as a coach and academy. And this is the realistic data from one of our users. can both download and share visual and statistical data with others anytime, receive comparison data of player by graph and schedule. And this is the real example of one of our customers, difference between professional and amateur player, can see easily before training, or coaches receive performance information and from the player and can give a training program accordingly. And this is the 3D output during the match training by NSA Tech. And you can see the La Liga in the FC Barcelona and the Real Madrid in the El Clasico. Our technologies can track the player defense and offense, and no difference, and not different for us to use our technologies for both of them. And can capture and get data, numerical and visual, even in the live and all events by artificial intelligence technologies powered by Microsoft. And this is the other view, and track the target player easily in the short time by NSA Tech. And about how it works and about the technology process, you can see use the artificial intelligence, go to some platform, multi-platform like mobile and PC and touchable devices, and go to the artificial intelligence algorithm and model in NSA Tech. And after that, you can have access to accumulated data. And about advantage for football, I should say that for number one, see clearly, helping coach to see clearly the movement and implementation of skills in the visual and interactive way for player, especially basic ages. And the number two, evaluating the possibility of evaluating the performance of basic skills such as walking, running, and corrective movement by the instructor. And number three, possibility of the using in mobile phone or computer or touch and interactive stands on the playground during the training. And number four, helping the player to better understand the movement and technique and showing the weakness and strengths and errors to the player during the training easily. And five, possibility to add the desired skill type, shot of, for example, Cristiano Ronaldo, as you seen before, and a top level player that, or player that Academy accept as the correct skills and reference, as a reference and comparison with players in any age category. And number six, assistant to manager of the academies on how to transfer information and properly train the coaches to the player by seeing the visual and 3D information, performing their skills and reviewing the coach performance chart and table on the daily, weekly, monthly, and basis. And number seven, creating new database of each player in visual and numerical form, and the possibility of the presenting it to the new coaches and amateur coaches, to families, to know the status of player and their progress. And number eight, helping to find talent identification and talent through the technology using mobile camera. And number nine, helping sales and customer acquisition for academies regarding to use technologies to inform families about their children progress and next gen success. And finally, production of educational content and for training outside the club in times of non-use of sports fields, such as coronavirus restriction. And about the pricing, this is our pricing that's limiting, and methods are based on number of updates, capture video per time, downloading, sharing, and time duration to use. For B2C model, and this is the technology licensing for B2B model. And this is the membership card from NSA Tech, Gold, VIP, Platinum, and Silver. And about the market, I should say that we have a multifaceted market. Just for soccer, we aim to reach 1 95 million amateur and professional soccer user, which is around 10% of these total markets that include academies, clubs, coach, and player, all levels, all ages. And about NSAT units, as I mentioned before, top-level players don't need to be physically present by using open source capture video during the match and training. There are no variable tools and special cameras. As you saw previously, our technology provides interactive 3D platform, and the first time allowing to observation of joint angles, body posture, and frame-by-frame movement. And we provide a real-time analyzing for the first time by artificial intelligence, and not limited to just one sport. And based on offer, we have a tennis, paddle, fencing right now. You can see your platform. And about the markets and business model, it's a monthly subscription, technology licensing, and sponsorship and ads. About the traction, we have more than 200 users, including coaches and players, received the positive feedback after using our technologies. We had two paid users for $500 just in 2 weeks with no advertisement. We just focus on developer technologies. We are negotiating with famous academies such as Paris Saint-Germain Academy in Brazil, and our technologies is over the test technology in process, and Chelsea FC Club in England. And we have signed an agreement contract with top-level coaches to use our technologies, and our technologies is patent pending as well. This is some feedbacks, and this technology is NSA Tech, which took 2 years to build and was made with artificial intelligence technologies, and no player, coach, and clubs admire us and amazed to see it. And but what we need, I should say that so far we have a bootstrap $10,000 and 40,000 source, and currently we are looking for $900,000 and to develop our technologies, marketing, and team up, and also $4.5 million for seed investment to extend our core technologies for adding new features such as e-fans, interactive new view experience, and the fans can select a suitable view by the finger interactively and during the match. And other technologies, it's fan engagement tools during the match by VR and artificial intelligence. You can see the new analyzing about the face detection, about the psychological side and physical side. And finally, have a real symbol of the player by 3D printer. And this is, I think, maybe very excited for fans. And about the roadmap, our target is collaborate with 30,000 users and 50 academies in 12 months and make $20,000 monthly from our users. And by licensing academies, we can reach $200,000 annually per each academy. And NSA Tech was founded in 2020. We have gone to top sport in Qatar as a Qatari company. We had the Series A in June 2021 and are planning to have a Series B in FIFA and sport event fan gates, which is great places for fan engagements. Success is simple. Do what is right, the right way, at the right time. Thank you for your attention, and hope you enjoy my presentation.
Thank you, Hussein. I just a one quick question for Hussein. Can you just specifically mention what is your target segment in football for this app?
The first is the elite domain. Sorry?
Is it the youth domain or the elite domain you are targeting through your app, or both?
No, both. This is just performance technologies to track the performance and progress but it depends on offer. For example, academies can use, we have it, we put the some roles limitation. For example, you can log in as a coach and use some technologies that related to you as a coach. You can log in as an academy and some use some features that's related to academies. You can log in as a player and parents. We have this structure in our platform.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any
Thank you.
questions from Inigo, Irish, or Sid for NSTech?
Sorry?
No question.
Yeah.
Just hold on. I'm just
Yeah,
asking
my main question is, well, first of all, congratulations for such a great pitch and such a great product. And secondly, I would like to know if you are planning to scale this to other sports, okay, apart from the ones that you mentioned before, okay? So in the, just to better understand if in the roadmap, are you planning to add new sports to the platform?
Yes, thank you for your offer. We are completely ready for add other sports, but we just concentrate at this time for the soccer.
Okay. Sid, do you have any query?
Yeah, Hossein, nice to see you here as well. So congratulations.
Hello, dear Sid. Thank you. Happy to see you again.
Yes. I'm aware of the work because of Qatar Sports Tech background. I'm aware of the work, and I just want to understand that what is the expansion plan beyond Qatar? Are you looking at, because you are not only for the club, elite club, you are also for the academy level. So the performance level work is pretty intensive that you're doing. So, but how is your expansion plan, and what is the rollout that you have in next 18 to 24 months?
Yes, that's a very good question. We just concentrate on MENA region at this time, and after that, it depends on offer. Maybe offer from Brazil, and we got an offer from the United States and something. We can develop our technologies, but need to raise money and get investor for develop our new structure, new infrastructure, and it's completely based on offer that's maybe that come to us.
Okay, but is it going to be the revenue? Is it going to be a full revenue for a club level, or is going to be per kid kind of thing that you're talking about? You're looking at volume, or you're looking at the high intensive bottom line?
Yes, at this time we just concentrate for get a revenue because our technology is ready to go to the market, and for Paris Saint-Germain, our technology is in over the test and just waiting for accept our technologies, and after that I think 1,500 players can be used our technologies.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Amol, I think Manish Upadhyay ji and Dipti Agarwal from...
I was just going to say that Tech Mahindra team is here, so
we can
proceed with them.
Hey, I said, how are you?
Good to see you, sir.
It's always pleasure connecting with you in various forums.
How are you?
Good.
Yeah, so Dr. Amol is there, Dr. Das is there. So hello everyone, and it's Sportsy is there, so it's always part to be associated with some kind of a sports word and in real-time sports. So good to meet you all, and I think I would request Dr. Satish or Dr. Amol to just start the proceedings here.
So
yes, you start.
We request you to please pitch in for your product. We'll be starting your presentation the next.
Okay, sure.
So I request the jury member to please take the Fanex as the next presentation.
Sure. Do you want me to project it? Is it okay?
Yes. Over to you. You can share your screen. I have enabled it.
Yeah, sure.
It's visible, but it's showing. Yeah, great. Perfect.
Can you see it?
Yes. Absolutely clear. Please go on.
Yeah, just 1 second. I'll just try to make it much easier. Yeah. So, guys, I think thank you very much. I think it's always, Sid knows that, it's always our passion to eat, sleep, drink, and breathe sports. Yeah. And FanX came just out of that, and if you see, we are aspiring to be a unicorn in next 3 to 5 years, and the speed and momentum at which we have closed the deals and signed new customers in last 18 months, I think that shows our hunger and aspiration at the speed at which we are moving. So my name is Manish Upadhyay. I am the CEO and business head of Sports Tech, which is very strategic initiatives of CEO office and chief strategy office. And I have my colleague Deepti. I would request her to introduce herself.
Hi everyone, I'm Deepti Agarwal and I'm looking after the sales for Sports Tech vertical for Tech Mahindra. Nice to meet you all.
Yeah, it's an important day for us because we just now signed a very important partnership deal with world's #1 sports university on the co-innovation, the Loughborough University. So I was in the signing ceremony of how we can co-innovate and build the solution for, right from the ECB to Manchester United to Liverpool or to Adidas or Nike of the world, whatever that they are doing for the, the athletic or fan or whatever they are doing. So we are at the calling from the same campus. They have been very kind. They said, you just take this place and, go ahead with your presentation. So, when we started Sports Tech, so we are always been into the sports. Let me give you some background. Since 2004, we have worked with UEFA, FIFA, multiple brands. And still we have the biggest, the powerhouse of sports, Mahindra Racing, based out of Banbury, Oxford. And, the kind of technology they use from us for whether it's a fan engagement, whether it's data analytics or video analytics, it is like when the race is happening in Germany, Berlin last week, the turn by turn or second by second or millisecond by millisecond instruction was being given by a control room based out of Banbury, based on, the real-time data transfer from Berlin to Banbury. So that's the kind of the technology which we use. And let me tell you, some of the platforms which we built and common component between FanX and that also is the data analytics power. And, the driver wins or loses the game by 1/100th of a second. So that's the kind of competition we are talking about here. So, the whole vision of setting up Sports Tech is bringing fans closer to the game. And when we set up, the sports was stopped for the whole world. It was like pandemic, and our board has signed off and they really saw some power in our vision. And we being the Forbes top 15 digital company globally, and we are the only one Indian company in Forbes top 15 digital company, we saw that digital can make a huge paradigm shift in terms of bringing the fans closer to the game. And that was the, the genesis of FanX, which is our platform. And I'll just, Now, what are the challenges? I think we all know the challenges. I need not to call out. I think everyone talks about the fan engagement, but no one talk about the fan monetization. I think gone are the days when they're just talking about the engagement, and the way I say, the way the sports was being played before the pandemic and post-pandemic, and the way it was being consumed before the pandemic and post-pandemic has changed drastically. And that gave us an opportunity how we can re-evangelize or reimagine the whole business and create a business model or new revenue stream to transform sports properties into a digital properties. And some of the reasons, there are no people inside the stadium. There is no off-season engagement, and there is no digital experience. And if you see, our telco is 5G. Some of the solutions which we have built or we are trialing with some of the leading sports federation is how I can teleport all 4 of you who are going through this presentation to next game of England versus India at Old Trafford using 5G technology and AR, VR. And that's a very different kind of experience, very different business model, and creates a very different revenue stream. And that's all we have built over a FanX. So create a phygital experience, and it may be purely digital or it may be phygital. So the transition between physical and digital is so seamless that you don't realize when you came from stadium to your mobile phone, or when you shift back from mobile phone to the stadium. So all variety, and that's the thought process or vision behind creating FanX platform. Some of the things which I would like to say, and some of the deals which I'll talk in the other last slide. We have superseded some of the leading organizations globally in the fan engagement. So one is the gamification which we have built, because if you see our target is not the baby boomers or baby boomers kind of audience. Our target audience is very different, which is more engaged in gaming or esports kind of, which is your Gen Z and Gen X kind of. And then how can we build a very integrated experience? If you see Tech Mahindra, we already have this capability exist in silos. Yeah, it's like making a curry. I have the data capability, I have the video capability, and I have the front end digital capability. Whatever dish you want, I can make it out of it. So it was very easy for us to bring this all together. Then augmented reality and AI, ML, I talked about the 5G and analytics use case. We are doing it, how to provide more hyper-personalized experience to the fan. And of course, if you are an MS Dhoni fan, which me and Sid, I hope Sid will be smiling after listening this. Yeah. So how can I only see the content or scores or stats related to MS Dhoni and when he's going to play next? All the things related to him. And and that's the kind of personalization we are talking about. And how can we join, create some kind of mini fantasy gaming? So so far this was existing in different types, a different shape and form. We brought this all together, and these are our credentials. I think Sid, me and Sid, we are meeting after so long. Yeah. But after launching 3 months within sports tech, we signed our first deal, Punjab Kings, and right from Mohit Burman, who is the chairman of Dabur. He was so amazed. Now he's talking about a digital investment rather than saying, I will do the sponsorship and branding. He said, if you see, there are limited number of logos you can put on a Punjab Kings t-shirt. But if you launch an app, the opportunity for brand activation becomes immense. And that's the kind of business model we talked to him about. We also signed a deal with the world's biggest sports data provider, States for Home, and we are helping them to transform. They're just capturing the match day specific data and passing it to the different sporting leagues, bodies, or broadcasters. But we are saying, how can you also capture the fan data and make your data more intuitive and personalized and two-way? Monetization, no one has talked about it. We defined the new metrics and we implemented for Rajasthan Royals. And what we are talking about is how many social media users I have. Out of those social media followers, how many have actually downloaded my app? And out of those who have downloaded my apps, how many have actually took their wallet out and spent money on the team or buying some merchandise or buying some video and all that. And as I said, Sid might not be aware, we recently signed a BCCI and IPL deal. We have defeated a 10-year-old incumbent based out of UK. And our whole differentiator is the solutioning and the power of the platform and power of the Tech Mahindra. International Cricket Council, again, we are working on the tail end of every program or every sporting league so that how we can increase their digital commerce revenue monetization part. So while the whole world is talking about engagement, we feel engagement is a very basic thing at this point of time, because the revenues from in-stadium games are limited. We have to find out the alternate revenue streams and explore and reinvent the new business model to ensure the digital reach of a sports club should go beyond obvious. So for an example, how can we make, and we are having some interesting conversation going on, Jaipur Pink Panthers to a global club. Earlier, only people in India, they were knowing about it. How can we use the power of digital to bring the fans even more closer to the game, action and player, and monetize on that particular experience? So we believe in a 3C and D strategy, which is content, community, and commerce. When I say, and this 3C and D strategy aligns to, our further 3 bubbles. The number 1 is 3C and D is content, community, commerce, and data. And it aligns to the 3 things. Do you know who your fans are? And second thing, what do they want? And providing them. This all aligns to this 3C. So, we are doing the biggest digital transformation for one of the biggest sporting body, as I said, cricket, and one more, which I can't mention here because of the confidentiality reason, of course, because of it's related to soccer. But we have picked it up and they see the freshness and future gazing in our thoughts and in our platform, some of the use cases, which is going to give them immediate monetization. So with this, I'll just conclude my presentation and I'll unshare it, and I'm open for the questions.
Manishji, I'll ask the juries to ask any questions if they have.
Inigo and Irish, do you have any query?
Yeah, Irish. Hi, Manish. I don't remember the name of your colleague. It's very difficult for the Argentina people pronounce your name. So sorry. My question is, you can explain a little more the business model or the partnership that you had with the customers?
So it's a very fundamental actually. What do we say? We say, you know, currently your revenue is pretty much 5% is the gate revenue. Yeah. And the rest of the revenue is a sponsorship and broadcasting driven. Yeah. How can you make it more digital? And when you have a zero digital revenue, yeah. And so far before the pandemic, the only digital revenue which sports leagues they used to understand is broadcasting, but that is not a digital revenue. It's a TV rights.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we said, you know, how can we provide only app exclusive content on the app, which is a more kind of digital thing, which is behind the scenes, or what salad your favorite player is eating when he's not playing, what exercise regime which he's following. That's one part of it. And second thing, we have already built the NFT layer on top of that, you know. So for an example, the Messi joins PSG and suddenly their merchandise sales in last 4 weeks gone to $100 million. Yeah. You know, and we are talking with some of the star players and leagues saying, can we launch a NFT platform for you using our FanX, where you can monetize on that. So there are different business models, and that based on the leagues. The second thing is that there is a 3 version of this app exist. One is the we call it a bronze, silver, and gold. If you see the bronze version, you know, the tier 2 and tier 3 clubs who can't actually afford something, can I provide a toolkit which they just install, and it will by default give them a website and app which they can launch for their fans and connect with the local community. Yeah. And content, they can very easily, you know, the most powerful device which we have as an audience is our mobile phone. So posting a content is not a challenge. Yeah. Community you can build up. So only thing we have to digitally enable. So there are different business model exist, but one of the business model which I spoke to you about is how can we use this platform to launch digital memorabilia and buy the physical merchandise. Usually, if you see the digital maturity of the North American clubs and rest of the world clubs, it's at a very different level. They do it all. Because the digital audience, they target always the Gen Z and Gen X. But if you see India, if you see Europe, if you see Argentina, if you see India, it's still catching up with that pace. So how can I bring content community commerce together and provide an experience for fan to take out their wallet? That's number 1 business model. Number 2, and create a fan currency using NFT. Number 1. Number 2, which I'm talking about is in a stadium or in a club, if you just want a sponsorship, there is a limit to the perimeter board or limit to the place on the, you know, the club's t-shirt. But with the app, I can activate as many brands on a daily basis. And that's a big monetization model. So the kind of model which we are working with, you know, with the club, we go very aggressive. We say first year, you give us some basic fees to implement this app. First year, 70-30. 70% revenue I will reap because I'm building your fan base, your revenue base. 30% you got it. Next year, we do it 60-40. Then we do 50-50. Then we do 30-70 because, and most of the people, clubs, they say, or sporting league, they say, I need 70-30 at the year 1. I said, you are most welcome. But if I give you 70-30 at the end of 4th year or 5th year, you have a huge revenue, fan base, and list of sponsors for you to make more money. So it is in your benefit. So our commercial model is pretty much a skin in the game. It is a risk reward kind of model.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Aris. Very, very thoughtful question.
My question is, my question is more related in terms of data analytics. Are you providing to your customers with a single fan profile or a kind of a login in order to have deeper information about the fan behavior?
There are 2 things. And Inigo, I must congratulate you for asking a very thoughtful question. Yeah. How can, so let's talk about Manchester United, 500 million odd fans on the Instagram. Yeah. But if Manchester United has to reach to these fans, they still need to pay at least 30 cents to Instagram for per fan for their activation. You multiply it by 500 million fans and it will come in some millions. Yeah. Now, my point is that, which is around 100 to 150 million. Yeah. My point is that how can I move away this fan from a rented social media property to your mobile app or your social media, you know, your website, and they act as a social media, like a social media interface. And it's very easy. We started experimenting something. If you see the Instagram stories or WhatsApp stories, we started providing all this kind of experiences on the app itself. And, you know, if you see whether it's a Clubhouse, whether it's Instagram, whether it's a Snapchat. Every app is different, and there are a lot of followers because they came up with a very differentiated journeys and differentiated target market. So we can very well provide that experience on the app, and they need not to go to the social media to follow that particular club. That's number one. Number two, when someone is logging, why do you want to capture their data? Give them an experience first. Build on this experience, and then that becomes an engagement, and then give them a very exclusive content. When you start giving the exclusive content once and twice, pretty much like YouTube, yeah, and you can put an advertisement model. You can do a freemium model. If they are watching some exclusive content using ad, it's a freemium model if they don't want to share the data, yeah, but at least they are watching an ad. You are doing a brand activation. But if you are trying to do a kind of premium model, you can ask them to register, and that's again an asset for you. So there are different strategy. In fact, we are working with some of the clubs saying, how can I convert a Liverpool fan to a Manchester United fan, which is a cross-pollination of fan, by going through the deeper analytics of their data, yeah, which is slightly on a aggressive side. But yes, we, the world is moving towards and harnessing the power of technology, and everyone is trying different strategy around it.
So
thanks a lot.
Yes. So firstly, don't try to steal Liverpool fan to Manchester United. Already Ronaldo coming back home has already created a lot of issues. So let us Liverpool people stay where we are. So Manish, one simple question. Obviously, as I'm aware of the platform and everything, I just want to understand one thing for the platform is: are you looking at a productized offering, or you're looking at solutionized offering?
We are looking at a very product-centric offering. Reason being, if you see, the sports space is very challenging. There is a lot of cost pressure. We don't want to build a solution, and the solution can only be afforded by the tier 1 leagues, whether it's a soccer or cricket. Yeah, but we are looking for a product, which we can map to a particular sporting league or a particular sports. And if you see sports tech, it is called Facebook of Tech Mahindra. We have very, very product-centric people. And we have just 2 requirements, and anyone wants to join. I'm sorry, I don't want to push anyone, but you have very simple requirements. If you should eat, sleep, breathe sport, and second, you should know business or technology part of the sports. Yeah. So these are the very simple job description we carry, and we definitely want to go to product side, because if I build up, the product is still reshaping based on different requirements from sports or leagues or different clubs. But I'm saying it's very easy for me to extend the same product to 200 different clubs globally. So the basic or bronze model which I'm talking about, it is like 30K I'm offering website and app, and it is purely kind of toolkit install kind of thing. Only thing, you will get an admin interface where you can upload the skin of your club. You will get a CMS where you can upload the content, and if I just sell it to 500 clubs globally, my day 1 revenue is 15 million. So and it will also help them. Yeah. And plus there is a silver and gold model or platinum model also, which people, they say, I want very customized kind of thing. I don't want, this has to be replicated somewhere else. So we build some custom journeys, and we have to just unblock those features from our product for that particular club or sporting league.
Okay.
I think all the questions have been answered. Anything left?
So what's the strategy for the last test match?
Strategy for last test match? Yeah, I think Shardul Thakur.
Okay, thank you.
I think they were not letting them play, but if they would have let them play at WTC,
Dr. Amol, I think. Dr. Amol, I think the 3 presenter has already presented, and juries have their questions and clarifications taken from them. I can just request you to kindly wind up this session, because we are heading towards the award night, which is just 10 minutes away.
I was about to say that.
Really amazing about all the platforms, whatever they have presented, and we are really, really happy to see all those growth and the technology coming up, most probably very nearly now in a very common space of India and other areas also.
Okay. So how are we looking at the other startups who have sent the videos?
I think
they have just shared the video, but because they have not joined, I think we have already a mail with them that they have to join physically. Otherwise, the pitch deck interaction is not there. Unless or until we grill them or discuss with them, we cannot just...
Perfectly fine. Your rules and regulations,
That's
perfectly fine. You are the organizers, but I just want to understand what's the call.
Yes,
Okay.
we will just hold on
Okay.
to these three. Otherwise, for the jury's sake, we will share those videos, but they will not be the winner.
Definitely.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So
when
thus I can log off, right? We can sign off.
Manish ji, you can break off.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, yes.
Thank you for a wonderful presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Music gives soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and life to everything. I'm not the one saying this. This is a quote from the Greek philosopher Plato from a long time ago. Yes, we listen to music all the time, when we're happy, sad, alone, together with friends, in the shower, walking, working. Music is a powerful mood enhancer for every single human on earth. And you might think, what does it have to do with sports? I'll tell you, when we add a layer of science and data under the music, we help high-performance athletes enhance their game and relieve mental health issues such as pre-game anxiety, stress, post-game fatigue, insomnia, and depression. We know that athletes silently suffer from mental health issues when performing at high peaks every day, and the COVID situation only made it worse. And that's where Life comes in. Life is an artificial intelligence sound engine that creates and generates music to relieve mental health issues and motivate athletes to enhance their performance. Our idea at Life is to be a 24/7 solution based on music, from the moment athletes wake up and need to perform until they are actually sleeping. Let me tell you how we do this. First, we rely on medical and scientific studies that prove that certain sounds and music affect the human brain's performance. Second, we collect data from the athlete: music tastes, heart rate, location, sleep and exercise patterns, ambient noise, you name it. And third, we feed our machine learning system with this data to generate this highly personalized music to give the athletes precisely what they need. But you might think, what if an athlete likes to listen to Beyoncé during a pre-training session? Apart from generating the music, we can integrate music platforms such as Spotify and Apple Music into Life. Our machine learning system can analyze and categorize all those 30 million songs and add the science layer to have the same results. And how will we make money with this? We have our B2B model, where we gather specific data that the business partner provides to integrate our music solution into its platforms. We are already doing this with iDoom Technologies and developing pilots and projects with Aspire Academy, Hyperice, FC Köln, Lululemon, and Stade Français. Furthermore, we're conducting researches with the Music as Medicine team from Erasmus University in the Netherlands. We also have our app as a B2B2C solution, creating specific areas for clients without proprietary apps. In both cases, on top of regular monetization, we can additionally generate NFTs with the music created, making this another revenue model for athletes, teams, leagues, and users in general. We have some competitors that prove that this is a high-value market, but Life delivers more. Life delivers real-time AI music generation created from personal data, backed by specialists in science and integrated with all wearables and devices in the market. And even those competitors can become our business partners, since we can be their music providers not only in sports, but in any situation where music is involved. In total, we are into a massive market of more than $62 billion per year, from sports data analytics to sports B2B, and we are working on getting at least 5% of it. For that, we have a team ranging from musicians and sports tech specialists to doctors and wearables experts with a combined experience of more than 200 years. So, we invite you to partner and join us in this health revolution with the best and easiest relief for mental health issues in an innovative and high-impact solution. And athletes are just the first step. Let's add this layer of science and data to the world's music and benefit more people around the globe. Thank you very much.
Hello, welcome to the analytical world of AI Abacus. I am Ram Malvagnem. I'm the CEO and founder of AI Abacus. As in all businesses, what's fundamentally required is to recruit the right people. Football is no different. So we have to recruit the right people, develop them, and convert them into an effective team. To be able to do this, we are inundated with data in football. We measure everything that's going on the field of play. But traditionally, what we have relied on is statistical analysis to understand the performance of the player, which is about historic performance. Because of that, what we rely on is subjective judgments to form decisions, which does not help with predictive analysis, predictive decision making. So over the last 6 years, what we have done at AI Abacus is to research, publish, and peer-reviewed those researched and published papers to understand the analytics using AI, neural networks, and machine learning, which enables us to provide information set which mitigates the risk of recruitment by simulating a player's suitability in one team into another. And we have created 3 potent KPIs. One is performance, The second one is value, and the third one is suitability. Performance tells you all about the predictive performance of the player in the new team. The value tells you if the player's value is going to go up or down, and the simulation tells you if the player is suitable of playing in your team. To understand these metrics, we've created an interactive platform that enables you to search 140,000 players we have in our database, profile them, benchmark them, and simulate their suitability. The market we are working in is huge. If you take Europe, the MENA region, and Latin America, and just 30% of those clubs, the annual recurring revenue from just 30% of that clubs is $120 million US. And the main audience for us is football, but we've also had interest from media and also from player agents who are responsible for providing players to the clubs. We launched our product in December 2020, and in 5 short months, we have achieved about 40 clients who are trialing the product and using the product. That also includes the German Federation, the Ecuadorian Federation, and the Mexican Federation, and we are currently negotiating with the Qatari Federation. We are looking for an investment of $1 million to take us to break even. Up to now, we have raised $500,000 by bootstrapping from founders, by angel investment, and a small investment from a VC. The $1 million will take us to break even, and this is how that way the money will be spent. Our business model is a SaaS business model. We have an entry-level price at $750, which ramps up to about $5,000 for bespoke solutions. So smaller clubs are able to use the product and get value from the product, because that's where the uncut gems are. This is our team. Collectively, we have over 100 years of experience in this team. I was involved in creating a product called ProZone about 20 years ago, which is used by most of the teams now. This is our brains trust. These are the guys who develop all the algorithms. We also have some software experts and marketing experts. That enables us to send the message out about what we are doing out into the marketplace very clearly. So in summary, over the last 6 years, we have researched and published information. We've created traction, and we've put together a credible team that is able to deliver solutions to football that desperately needs these solutions. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.